Each word of the Buddha is so true, no matter how long time he taught, or together 45 years. How many words? Each word is so true, because the truth is that each moment must be different from the other moment by different conditions. Nothing can arise without its proper condition. That's why to understand this is to understand that that is a moment of conditioned reality, no one there, no matter in what sutta. Sometimes there can be just moderate eating and overeating. All depends on conditions, no matter whether that person understands the truth or not. So it does mean that at moment of not overeating, there is sati. It can be the idea of self, seeing the danger of overeating. Nobody can condition anything to arise at all. Right now, just now, see, all appears by conditions. But is there any understanding of the truth of what is now appearing, no matter when? So the best thing in life is to understand the truth of what is there as it is, without the teachings of the Buddha. No understanding of that at all. So no matter what he talk about, it's there, including the truth of each one, each word, as not self, as only a reality. That's why without careful study, we cannot understand the point of studying the truth now. It is just to let go ignorance and wrong understanding of what is now appearing. Seeing the food as the food, what is there? Understanding or no understanding? Eating each food, is there any understanding or no understanding of whatever is there at all? So to guard what? What is there taught about in that sutta? To guard what? The food, the taste, or what? Hot, sweet, or what? Not big mouthful, or what? So what is there to guard? To guard not to overeat, or what? See, only just the word guarding at each moment. Seeing, hearing, smelling through what doorway. What does it mean? Without understanding, can there be guard at any moment of eating, looking, speaking, thinking through each doorway? What is the most precious moment is to understand the truth of what is there as it is, not self, not anything, not food. So what is there, the absolute truth? Without that which can experience, can there be such and such thing? To understand the nature which is conditioned to arise to experience, when there is no understanding, no God. So when there is the understanding of the truth of reality as not self, there can be moment of being aware of whatever is there as it is. To understand the absolute truth of that very moment is the meaning of to guard in order to understand the truth. That's why Buddha taught about any time, any moment, any object, no matter what, eating, overmuch or whatever, less or whatever is there by conditions. And that is the guard and understanding of what is there in daily life as not self. So we just not just simply say, Sati is aware. What is that? Only the word. And what is Sati? If there's no understanding of the truth of Sati, that it is a reality conditioned to arise and be aware of wholesome moment. There must be only the idea of the teaching of the Buddha is about the way to live.
อาจารย์ About the way to live?
To live, just live, no understanding. Live at moment of eating to be such and such, not much, overmuch, and so on, and seeing and on, just like ordinary morals and ethics, but actually it's the absolute truth. And because of so much ignorance accumulated, that's why we keep on talking about the moment, what is there, to understand the truth of it, little by little. That is the moment of understand the teachings of the Buddha and his great virtues. He taught about the truth of everything in life, no matter what life, each moment. So don't think that we have enough understanding of the word that we heard, like sati, or seeing, or hearing, liking, being satisfied, pleasant feeling, or unpleasant feeling. What are they? What are the truth, the absolute truth of them? No matter it's pleasant feeling at moment of eating, or seeing, or hearing, they are only that which arises to experience. No matter where, yesterday, today, tomorrow, previous life, tomorrow, and next life, and on. Realities are realities. They cannot be changed at all. And the absolute truth of everything is that it cannot be taken for anything at all because it's not there anymore. Just arise and fall away. So at moment of eating, at moment of dressing, at moment of breathing, they're all the same. There must be that which arises and experience different objects at different moments. And when there's no understanding, just enjoy that, no guarding. And how come to arise to God? Is that moment real? Can it be right, that moment of guarding and no guarding at all? By conditions. So we learn to understand each word, to understand the difference of this one and the other one, so that we don't mix up at moment of eating, looking, drawing, or whatever, that what is there as different realities. Okay, guarding the eyes, the object, and so on, and no guarding at all. What are there? Each moment is real, but the moment is different by different conditions. No understanding of the God as what is it, but hearing the word guarding and God, is that right? And this is the subtlety of reality, which is now as Buddha had enlightened and taught. Just the word God doesn't mean that we can guard, but the truth of it, what conditions are there to condition is arising to guard. Talking about guarding the eye door, is there any moment of guard the eye door, which is now seeing, and the object? So it does mean just follow the word, but understand the truth and understand the difference between each one, moment with guard and moment without guarding at all. And what is there at moment of no guarding of what is now appearing? The moment of not guarding is real, is true. What is that? And it's now this moment or not? To study Dhamma is to understand what is there as it is now. Is the guarding of the door, eye door now? Everyone can answer because it's so true. To be true, truthful to the truth. Is there any guarding of that is now appearing? The answer, please. This is studying Dhamma. To understand what is there from the very beginning now. Where's the right understanding to answer? It's true. What is the answer? Is there any moment of guarding to understand the truth of that which is now appearing?
No.
Is that the answer? Your answer or your friend's answer?
As my answer.
So about the others?
No.
Why not?
Because the garden is the moment of pati. Now it's just thinking about the idea.
What is pati?
It's a level of panya that can directly know the object, the Dhamma.
So, is garden moment is pati?
Yes.
And what performs that function, garden?
It's panya.
Without sati?
There must be sati accompany panya.
So they arise together, but sati cannot understand, but it guards, and panya understand because of sati guards. And they cannot arise when they are not enough for their arising. So it has to begin to understand the truth as not self from the very beginning. To let go ignorance and not guard the reality. That's why all depends on understanding, because only the understanding can let go clinging and ignorance to whatever is there. As there is the understanding of this truth, there can be more time to study and seeing the precious moment of understanding from hearing, considering, reading, or whatever about that which is now appearing. We heard the word sati. Is sati real?
It's real.
When does it arise?
Its moment of kusala is there.
Okay. And what is that kusala? What is the moment of kusala?
It's the beautiful mind, dana, sila, and bhavana. Why
is beautiful?
Because the chitta is gentle at that time. There's no defilement. It's kusala.
Okay. Can it be known now?
If it arises, it can be known.
Does it arise now?
No, not this moment.
Because you see that it's only like understanding the word, intellectual understanding. But the truth of it does not appear as it is, just one by one. Because there are so many numerous namas and reality rupas. We heard many times about the word nama and rupa, and nama is that which experience arises to experience, and rupa cannot experience anything. This is what we all know about. Is that enough?
No, it's not enough.
We learn about sati, the gardens, but is it the moment of understanding sati, or just thinking about it? Realities are realities. They cannot be changed, each one. But the reality which experiences is that which is not known. It's taken for I all the time. That's why before understanding anything clear, there should be the understanding that even that which experiences now is not clearly experienced or known yet. It's there, but without understanding, no sati can be aware of that object as it is there only as an experiencing reality. So it's only just understanding that it's there, it's a reality, it has its function like that. But at that very moment, no understanding of that which experiences even one. When anger is there, because it's conditioned to arise, it can be known as its anger, but no understanding it as just a reality which is conditioned, no I, no one at all. At moment when anger is there, That can be the understanding of that characteristic that it cannot be changed. It has to be such characteristic, but no understanding of the truth that is only a reality which experiences. Anger arises, it experiences an object, it dislikes that object, but no understanding anger as just that which has its characteristic as disliking. We don't have to call it anger or irritation or whatever is there, but the truth is that it's a reality which experiences an object is not known. So no matter what is there, it appears as it is, but not as is no one and no self. That's why the first clear understanding, the Vipassana Jnana, has to be no doubt about the reality which experiences at that moment the other thing which cannot experience is not the object. So it's so clear about that, only one, that which experiences no shape and no form. And when feeling is there, show up to be clear object to Panya of that degree, no need to call it anything because it cannot be that which experience, but it feels different realities as usual. But the right understanding can directly experience the truth with no one there. So we learn about feeling, it feels. It's not necessary to tell anyone because it's there when it's there and everyone knows that it's pleasant or unpleasant, it feels that way. But that it is not, it's that it's conditioned to arise just to be that and then gone. So when it's clear understanding as Vipassana Jnana, each reality can appear not at will, but by conditions, no selection, but Panya which experiences the truth as no one is only different, that which experiences no word. And no doubt about the nature of that which is just that. You don't have to name or call it anything at all. But the characteristic, the reality which feels, means that it experiences is there. And whatever nama and rupa appear as they are, one by one. And without Panya, can there be guarding moment to understand the truth as we are talking about? So what is the meaning of just the word guard? The eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and whatever is there. Without deep understanding, one take it for just guard it. It's there, see, but no understanding as Buddha had enlightened and taught. And this is the difference between the words of the Buddha and the words of the other teacher who hadn't enlightened the truth. So the teaching is so deep because the reality is so deep. At moment, whatever appears, it arises and falls away, only one at a time, to be known. That's why Sati is not Samadhi, it's not Panya. And there can be the understanding of each one that there must be conditions for whatever arises, no matter different level of Sati and Panya. Is there any questions? To be truthful to the truth, this is part of me. What about God now, guarding now? Or no God, by conditions? And without more and more understanding, more and more confidence of the truth, there cannot be conditions for guarding. So, is there sati in a day? More or less, little, very little? Or what about the understanding? Because sati arises with all kinds of wholesome moments. But the guarding moment is not like other moments without Panya. So understanding the teachings of the Buddha is to understand whatever is there as its so very truth, absolute truth. Is there attachment now? Please answer.
Yes, there is attachment.
Does it appear?
If Ajahn didn't ask, there was no thinking about attachment. And
So
Ajahn was asking them, there's a reminding to, it's there.
but just only thinking about it, as long as it doesn't appear as just a reality, it has personality characteristic. Why does one just sit and concentrate on an object?
Because of lobha.
Yes, and ignorance. See, and can lobha and ignorance let go? Wrong understanding and ignorance. To do that is not the work of the Buddha. No understanding of anatta, no understanding of reality, no understanding of ignorance and attachment. So sati and panya guard not to have lobha being attached to wrong understanding. So sati is the guidance. When it's there, or unwholesome reality cannot arise. And when it's at different level, higher level, it's got to be aware, to guard the moment, not to go astray. Otherwise, panya cannot understand that without sati. That's why in the Tipitaka, it's not Cetana Patthana, it's not Vipaka Patthana, it's not any reality Patthana, only Sati Patthana. So there are three meanings of the word Sati Patthana. It is any object which is the object of Sati, one meaning. Kaya, Vedana, Citta, Dhamma, everything. At that very moment when Sati is aware of it, that object is Sati Patthana, the base for Panya to develop. And Sati at that moment guard object. It's not at the other moment like moment of dana or ordinary sphera. And the last meaning is it's the fourth noble truth because it's the way the Buddha and all his savakas follow or develop. Not go the other way at all because the other way is not the way to understand the truth. So that should be more understanding and clear understanding about each word because it concerns about each reality as it's now appearing. For example, seeing it now without right understanding, there is no condition to guard it as it is, to understand. With understanding, there can be more, a little bit understanding the truth of that which is and the guidance, the sati. To be able to develop the understanding of no self, of that which appears as so very simple and ordinary in life each day. So very natural because each reality is so, it has their own nature to be such and such, even at this moment. Is this the teaching of the Buddha? If it's not about this, to understand whatever is there, is that the teaching of the Buddha? So only the Buddha who had experienced or enlightened the truth can teach us about whatever is there now. Great teacher. When there is the understanding of the words of the enlightened one, there can be the understanding of what is true and what is not true, and what word is the word which bring about the understanding or ignorance. And that moment is conditioned to understand the truth more and more and more. And we call that word, that reality as panya or viccha. Even we don't call it, it understand the truth little by little until it can become enlightened, the absolute truth as Ariya Satya. Otherwise, what the use of just listening and remember the word and try to find out, but the reality is not known because no more understanding and more confidence of the benefit or the precious moment of the teachings is to directly understand what is there when it appears. So to study Dhamma is to study the truth of what is there now as it is. Is there any question?
The question is about Satipatthana. It's called Sati, but at the moment of aware, either Rupa or Chitta or Vedana or any Dhamma, is there Panya there, right? Panya must be there, is that right? Even though it's called Satipatthana.
How can Sati arise to be aware of that object? Mm-hmm. Right now, there is object which is experience. So, is there Sati?